I'd like to call the Thursday, June 8th board meeting to order at 7:02. Lucy, will you call the roll, please?
Okay, Supervisor Trombley,
Yes?
Clerk Proudy, Township Manager, Trustee Bowman.
Here.
You for DK?
Here.
Will Height.
Here.
Okay, will you please all stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next is the public hearing.
Call me.
You okay?
Yeah, I got my foot tied up on my,
Okay, next is the public hearing for the Ela Township Road District budget year ending 3/31/24.
okay.
So I'd like to open it up for public comment.
I need to have a motion to go
Okay.
into a public
Can we
hearing.
have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
It's 7:03. Okay, anybody like to speak about,
No. Roll call.
oh, we have to roll call for that?
Yeah,
Okay.
Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
Trustee Will Height,
Yes.
Supervisor Trombley,
Yes?
and Trustee you for DK.
Here.
No,
Oh, yes.
All
Okay, we're
of
off to
the
a good
above.
start.
gotcha.
Okay. We'll open it up for public comment. Anybody? This is regarding the budget only. Okay.
Oh.
I just would amend it for the cemetery manager salary to go back to 5,000 from 10,000.
Okay. Anybody else?
Are you making a motion to do that?
I'd like to discuss that.
Discussion.
Because that's a lot of work, as I've found out over the last 4 or 5 months that I've been handling it.
Yeah.
Well, it's
And-
just, why do you think that it shouldn't be there?
It's not on the
It's
agenda.
$1,000 a month.
Well, we're
It's
talking
almost
about the budget.
$1,000 a month for a job that I don't know how many hours a day it requires and how many, I mean,
And just to level set, it was 5,000 just for the audience, and they're increasing it to 10,000. So I think Laura is saying that we want to have some discussion as to why.
right.
That's it. Oh, yes, ma'am?
I was on the cemetery board when it originally, when the original proposal was
Could you,
Oh.
should we have her
Could-
come to
yeah,
the,
could
so we can hear you, please?
Please, ma'am.
Rhonda?
I have a whole lot to say.
Well, that's okay.
Can you just state
We
your
just want to
name
hear.
now?
Thank you.
My name is Rhonda Krokenberg. Oh, I can't see anybody.
Oh, sorry.
Can you make sure it's on there? I mean,
Anyway, my name is Rhonda Krokenberg. I was part of the cemetery board when it was first initially started, when we first received the cemeteries. There is a lot of detail work. We had several people that didn't know how to physically plot the cemeteries. There's a lot of work, but it's not consistent. It's a day here or 2 days here, and then there's no need for anything for how long?
A week, like one day this week, I got 4 phone calls just about cemetery, and the next day I got nothing. So it changes every day.
Right.
And
But
I-
the work is hard, but you need to find somebody that knows math and plotting and, that type of thing. But as far as $10,000 seems a lot.
so based on you've been on it, and you're
On the
saying-
cemetery board,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah,
for
and you're
years.
saying 10,000 is a
I would
lot.
say that's a lot.
Okay.
But maybe 7, split the difference, 75, how's that, But it is a lot, you need to get that right person, and I don't think we had the right person the last time. And we had a couple of major screw-ups where they had to actually dig somebody up and put them back where they're supposed to be.
No, I did
And
not
that
hear
cost
that.
us,
Wow.
I did not hear that.
Not recently.
Oh, not with the
No.
last
Not-
person.
Not in the
Oh.
last.
But it's just in general.
Just in general.
To your point,
and that
there's
cost
a
us
lot
a
of
lot of
tedious
There's a lot of tedious work.
work,
yes,
and,
but it's not just-
and to say, when you took it over, or when you first were on the board, there was a lot of fact-finding
Oh.
issues at the time,
We
too.
had radar, we had trying to
I know,
find-
we hired a company to come and
That's good.
verify who's buried what and.
Yeah.
Because the records we
But
receive.
also, there's a lot more now. We have the scatter garden.
That doesn't
That's,
take much.
that's, pardon me?
That doesn't take much, you know,
It's paperwork. It's just,
Somebody still has to go out there and meet them. I was there on Sunday, I was there on Saturdays, I've been there at 5 o'clock in the evening. I have to be there a week from Saturday for another scattering, because we don't want people to do it on their own. So
it's difficult.
I did my scattering on my own, we did mine.
well, we're trying not to do that. We're trying not to do that.
No, we were all there.
So,
Yeah, but no, you didn't, you were there because of why we were scattering.
Okay,
You weren't there because, in an official capacity.
okay, Larry.
I'm not, 10,000 or 750 or whatever. It's hard to get good people in today's marketplace. And I think if we bring it down from 10,000, I think we'll even have a difficult time at 10,000, trying to find a good qualified person with credentials
Nobody
coming
wants to
close
do
to
it.
the needs. It's gonna,
Nobody wants to do it.
I know, it's gonna be tough, and I
That's
think
why I raised it.
bringing
Or
the
wanted to
price
raise it.
down, I think, is just gonna make,
Well, I also, have one more comment is when,
well, I've been.
okay, go ahead.
So there's also, in the highway department, they have 10 work tickets, even 3650. So do they do the plotting, the highway?
No,
So what are these work
they're
tickets?
cutting the grass,
Okay,
which takes a lot of time around all those headstones.
okay.
They empty the garbage, they pick up dead plants, they trim the bushes, all that.
Okay, I just wasn't sure
No.
what this large amount was, because that's more tickets than they've usually had.
Well, yeah, because they don't do anything in the winter over there, so in the spring, there's a lot of cleanup.
Okay.
it's a
And-
lot of
and the
tedious work for
trustees
the
don't-
highway department.
How about
It would be better
I-
if you guys didn't talk
I-
over each other. You're talking over each other, and it's hard for the record to be clear. It's also hard for the people in the audience to
Sure.
understand. If you could, Gloria, just call people to speak,
Okay.
that
Yeah.
would make your meeting run more efficiently.
Okay, so will you finish your comments then, Lori?
Thank you. So that was my question there with, I just wasn't sure. We've never discussed, it was brought to us, but we never discussed it. So
Okay.
I understand there's more work than 5,000. I just am not comfortable with the 10,000. I just wanted to
Well,
talk about it.
Could-
compromise? 750 and see what.
Why don't you wait until she calls on you, just so that we can just keep some sort of.
I heard you. And let me just say one more thing, is when Dave left, I reached out to Mark, who does our digging, some of our digging, and his quote would have been, cost us more than $10,000 to do it for the year, because he wanted a percentage of the sales as well, for every crematorium, every crypt, every niche, every scatter garden, whatever plot. It would have cost us over, I think it was over $11,000 when I did the math just for the columbarium. And that's not even any other salaries that he gets paid for digging the holes and such.
And this couldn't be, like, meeting people at the scatter garden, this couldn't be split up with some of the trustees that are also paid positions, that it doesn't have to always be the cemetery manager?
That was never part of their job description.
Okay. Do they have a job description?
Not as far as that goes, no. No, not really, no.
Okay.
I mean, at least I don't have one.
Sure, no, I was.
But that's not part of their job.
Questions, yes.
There's a state outlining what that job entails, and it's been updated, I don't know, 2 or 3 times in the last
For Ela Township?
10 years.
For the role of cemetery.
For the role.
I
Okay.
think is what you're talking about, right?
Right,
It's statutory.
Okay.
yes, Larry.
I think for the $2,500 difference, if we get somebody and for $2,500, we got somebody better and didn't have any issues of paperwork or somebody in the wrong spot or whatever, I think it's just ridiculous for $2,500. And move on.
And again, I'm not saying I'm going to offer 10,000, but I wanted it there in case I found somebody and that's what was needed. Especially if we go with Mark, because like I said, he would cost us more than 10,000 a year with sales alone.
Originally, what was the, I can't think of his name now, said he originally had it, he got all the extras, for the cemetery.
Was it Carl?
Who was,
No, Carl. thought it was
That was
Mark.
before my time then.
Yeah,
That was
He got all the what?
he got the side, the crematorium, he got other monies
Right.
for selling and.
Oh, he did? He got commission for that? Oh.
Yes.
Well, we didn't do that to our current cemetery.
How about, start at 750 to a 10,000, then you can figure out what they have.
Or make it a range.
I thought you were calling on people, you gotta.
I was calling on people,
Okay.
but they're just talking. I
Well, you
can't.
gotta make sure they don't talk and call them. Gloria, I'm next. So I wanted to say that.
Tossie, would you like to say something?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I wanted to say that, to Gloria's point and to our resident, and then Lori's also good point, maybe what we do is you have the 10,000, you started at 8,000, see what you get, knowing that you have that 10,000 cushion. If we don't get anybody good, you know the details of the job, Gloria, you've been doing it, then we can move it to 10,000 and then just move on. I mean,
We can't change it in the midterm.
but we budget, also, we approved the 10,000, but we
Oh, you're
started
saying
at 8.
start out, if I find
That's what I
somebody.
was saying,
I
yeah.
gotcha, okay. Well, again, though, that we can talk about. Right now, it's 10,000 on the budget. Can we approve the budget as it is? That's what it boils down to when we come down to a vote. So is there any other comments under public hearing regarding the budget? Anybody? Okay.
Just, can we, if we approve it, can we put an amendment or something saying that we're gonna start at 8,000, but we approved it for 10,000? Can we do that?
As far as advertising,
Yes.
we don't need to do anything to the budget on that. We can just make that agreement with us when we go to advertise. Anybody else?
You just need a motion to close the hearing.
Right, okay, so now we want a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
Larry and Tossie. Okay, can we have a roll then?
I get my question in, okay.
Right, oh, did you? I thought-
Trustee Bowman?
Yes.
Okay. Trustee Forte?
Yes.
Supervisor Pombo?
Yes?
And Trustee Wilhite?
Yes.
Okay, so now we're back into regular session. Next is freedom of information. When do we vote on the
Oh,
budget? Oh, that's at number 11. Okay.
7:15.
Freedom of information on 5/12/23, Jackie Ray requested total payroll for each employee of the township, including all benefits, IMRF, insurance, social security, FICA, et cetera, from January 1st, 2022 through 12/31/22. That was responded for on 5/12 by email. On 5/12, we received a request from Rhonda Kruckenberg regarding all documents for Penny Hers additional compensation paid and/or approved over her hourly rate, including travel, phone, and educational expenses from 12/21 through 5/12/23. That was responded on 5/18 by email. On 5/13, we received a request from Jackie Ray, asked for a list of all raises given to all employees for budget year 23-24. If salaried, their total increase. If hourly, the dollar amount received per hour. And they also asked for a list of all employees that did not receive an increase. That was responded for on 5/18. Info was also emailed. On 5/13, we received a request from Bill Kruckenberg for all bonuses and dollar amounts given to any employee from 5/1/2022 to 5/13/2023. They asked us to include person's performance sheet as to why they received the bonus with the dates approved. Include the procedure manual and requirements for employees to receive a bonus. List the date the board's approval of said manual. We responded on 5/18 by email. On 5/30, we received a request from EPS Environmental Services requesting the original property record card for 120 Tulsa Road, Lake Zurich. We responded on 6/1 by email. On 5/21/23, we received a request from P Record. Number 1, current roster of all employees, job titles, salaries, office phone number, office email, sworn status, employee ID number. Number 2, employee job descriptions. Number 3, risk management insurance policy. Number 4, credit card statements from 2021. And we responded on 5/25, info was emailed. On 5/18, we received a request from Karen Garcia requesting info on E-List current employee staff contact information. They wanted the name, position, title, department, direct phone number, business cell provided by township, email address, and office address. That was responded on May 22nd by email. On 5/31, we received a request from FOIA Stamp for a list of things. Number one, a brief description of itself and include a short summary of its purpose, a block diagram giving its functional subdivisions, the total amount of its operating budget, number and location of all of its separate offices, the approximate number of full and part-time employees, and the identification and membership of any board, commission, committee, or council which operates in an advisory capacity relative to the operation of the public body, or which exercises control over its policies or procedures, or to which the public body is required to report. B, a brief description of the methods whereby the public requests info and public records, info and public records, a directory designating the FOIA officers, the address where requests for public records should be directed, and any fees allowable under Section 6 of this Act. Number C, requesting all Freedom of Information completed training certificate of responding Freedom of Information officers from 2005 to 2023. D, requested personnel file for responding Freedom of Information officer. We responded on June 6th by email. Okay, next, we're open up for public comments. Anybody like to speak? Come on forward, you have 3 minutes.
Again, my name is Rhonda Kirkberg. I live in 23310 West Miller Road, Lake Zurich. Good evening again. I am asking the board to fill the assessor position as soon as possible because there's a deadline for the books to be closed by July 15th. That's 5 weeks, and there's been no leadership for the past month now. You have 60 days to fill the position, but with the deadline, who will certify the books? How is this going to work? Does the board understand that this is a quadrennial year for taxes? If the books are not closed properly, or the county must close them, the entire township will be lumped in with all of Lake County, and the potential to pay more is great. Your tax dollars are determined by this assessment for 4 years. Do you want to pay more than your fair share? I don't. To my knowledge, there are 2 certified and qualified residents to choose from. Choose one, now. Or do you want the new assessor to fail? Do you want the township to fail? It's been 633 days without John Barrington. In my opinion, it's been 633 days that Ela has not been represented due to the actions of the board. The 2 new trustees are just that, new, and my remarks are not aimed at them as they relied on the more experienced officials. The board broke the law last time by hiring an employee that the state law says when the state law says if it's not a local resident for the job, then it must be an independent contractor. You overlooked a qualified resident, which TOI and the state prefer. This office tried to change the narrative of how they hired the out-of-state employee. I have 3 different FOIAs that have 3 different versions of how this all came to be. 3. Where's the truth? Are you going to go down this road again? Are you going to disregard TOI and the state again? The people of Ela now are aware of what's been going on here. The light has been shown on how you do business. How is the public going to react if the board does not choose a local resident? How much publicity will be aimed at you making another bad choice? Are you willing to be scrutinized more by the voting residents, the state's attorney, and the attorney general? Yes, the attorney general. Will this be your defining moment? Your choice. And how will the board vote for a new trustee? Are you going to appoint a trustee that can be critical, that can critically think, or just someone that can rubber stamp the supervisor? Will this person live in the unincorporated area? We have no one on the board that is. There is no representation for the unincorporated areas, and they have unique issues that affect the unincorporated. I said that wrong. There are unique issues that affect the unincorporated, and you have no one. Can this trustee keep the board out of trouble? Lucy, you did so much good as an elected official for all these years. We might still be in a drafty, cold, former garage if it wasn't for you. You may be the deciding vote in this fiasco, so how are you going to vote?
Rhonda, I'm going to just remind you that you had 3 minutes. You want to
I've only filling these two important positions will follow you. Filling these two important positions will follow you. Remember, you have a little more than a year before the re-election process starts. With taxes, residents' memories are very long. This board is in the spotlight. Your decision will reflect your true nature, and you will be judged by the court of opinion at the very least.
Wrap it up.
I've got 2 sentences. I pray you will have the wisdom to choose the best for our township. To quote Mr. Spock, the need for many outweighs the need for a few. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. The only thing I have to say is that the vacancy's only been 14 days so far.
But she hasn't been in the office for how long?
You don't need to engage in back and forth, this is just
Yeah.
public comment.
Okay, we'll move forward to approval of board meeting minutes of May 11th, 2023. Can we have a motion?
Motion.
I have a comment.
Okay, first we have a motion and a second, and then we'll,
Okay.
I need a second.
Second.
okay?
Yeah, my only comment was what we discussed earlier, just making sure the word absent is throughout any meetings that are held. So,
And they say absent.
yeah, but even in the decennial one that we talked about,
Okay,
changing that to absent.
okay,
Thank you.
all right. Does it, oh, sorry, Lori,
There's just some typographical errors in this.
in the board meeting minutes?
Yes.
Okay,
I could hand them to you. Under public comments, West has a comma instead of period.
okay,
Number 6, on the last sentence, with any corrections or additions, with no corrections or additions. On the back page, my report attended topics, it was Lobby Day in Springfield.
wait, last page, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, the back page, under my report,
Okay.
says I attended topics, it was Lobby Day.
It's both.
I said Lobby Day, and it says Lobby Day on the, that's what
No,
I,
you said Township Day, and I corrected you and said topic.
All right,
Okay.
well, we'll switch it.
Thank you.
thank you. And then,
Okay.
yeah, that is it.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as corrected. Anything else? Okay, Lucy, will you call the roll, please?
Trustee Bowman,
Yes.
trustee Wilhite,
Yes.
trustee Ufordike.
Yes.
And Supervisor Pomblet.
Yes. Number 8. Can we have a motion to approve the committee, a motion to accept the committee meeting minutes from the Committee of the Whole from May 24th, the Community Center Committee from May 17th, the Communication Committee from May 23rd, the Health and Wellness Committee from May 26th, the Highway Committee from May 22nd, and the Decennial from May 24th.
So moved.
Second.
Comment.
Sure?
Just making sure, on the decennial minutes, it said trustee Bowman and Sykes were excused. Were absent.
Yes.
That's what she wants to excuse off, okay?
And then the Community Center Committee meeting, number 8, it said agreed to close the center for July 4th. It should say July 3rd.
The cemetery,
Underwear?
it says cemetery on our board agenda, but there is no cemetery meeting minutes in there, in the packet.
But they weren't highlighted. That's why they're not included.
Oh, okay,
Okay? That's why I skipped it.
got it.
Okay, so anything else?
No.
All right, Lucy, will you call the roll, please?
Trustee Wilhite,
Yes.
trustee Bowman,
Yes.
Supervisor Pomblet,
Yes?
and trustee Ufordike.
Yes.
Okay, next is approval of the board audit from May 9th, 23 through June 5th, 2023. Lucy, will you call the board audit, please?
Okay. Total general town fund, $49,942.59. General assistance, 0. Total road fund, $12,783.80. Total permanent road fund, $278,320.67. Total park maintenance, $15,960,
960.
$960.08. Total cemetery maintenance, $2,445 and no cents. Total payroll, $163,692.67. Total of all funds, $515,144.81.
Okay. Any questions on the audit?
Motion.
Oh, yeah, we need a second. Anybody?
Second.
Any questions on the audit? No. Okay, Lucy, we call the roll, please.
Trustee Bowman?
Yes.
Trustee Wilhite?
Yes.
Trustee DK?
Yes.
And Supervisor Pombley.
Yes. Next is monthly updates from elected officials and department heads. Trustee Ufadike, any updates?
Yes, so, we had our meeting, it was very good, and I'll defer to Director Dillon. Had a chance to visit the Peace Pole, actually seeing it live, it was really, really nice, and all the hard work, that the highway department did in putting some more dirt, it looks really amazing. If you haven't been to the historical center to see it, it looks really good. Also, as people know, the last meeting I was absent due to some family circumstances. My nephew graduated, so it was an exciting time. And I also thought about the wonderful graduates that we have at Lake Zurich High School. Had a chance to work again with Gloria, which was very nice, and just awarding some scholarships to our local high school students that are so deserving. And the selection process was amazing. We met, and we have some really bright students in our community, so it was really, really good. And I enjoyed working with you, Gloria, on that, so thank you.
You're welcome, I enjoyed it too, and we'll be
Yeah.
recognizing them at the next board meeting in July.
You gotta write that report to me.
Okay. We'll help you there. Okay, Trustee Wilhoit?
We had a health and wellness meeting. I'll defer to Sarah, Director Marks, for any other comments. That's it.
Okay, Trustee Bowman?
Parks, most of the maintenance programs have been completed, and the cleanup, the fences are down on Knox Park football field. We're still waiting for the pickleball to make its ribbon cutting. Just a few things to do. The concrete sidewalks and the pads are poured for the seats
The
along the
benches.
sides and
Mhm.
stuff. And the wellness workout area, I drove in tonight, and there must have been 20 people out there, along
Wow.
with the
That's
new
great.
park and stuff. It's being well received, so.
That's good. As far as the pickleball courts, they have been out there working this week, almost every day, looking for low spots so they can make them level, and they're moving along. I think they thought they'd be done next week, so fingers crossed. Good weather, and
Good.
we'll have our cuttings, our ribbon
That's all I
ceremony
had.
the following week. Okay. Lucy, any report?
Nope.
Okay. Ted, any report?
What is that thing doing on the side?
I don't know, it should have been on this side.
Yeah.
Sir Arnie put it, I think.
Why are you on the other side of the post?
It's okay, you're not missing much. So earlier this week, we filled our available management assistant position. Lena's a resident of Lake Zurich. You can probably see her house from Town Hall. So we're excited to have her on board. She's learning quickly. She's got a lot to learn. There's a lot going on in that position, so we're excited to get her in and get her working. As mentioned, the pickleball courts, we're continuing to make progress on them. We're fielding calls almost on a daily basis from residents itching to get playing, so hopefully this will be done sooner rather than later. We held our first decennial committee meeting. As a result of that, I'm in the process of compiling all the statutes and regulations as outlined from the meeting. Over the next few months, I will complete the list, and any ordinances and/or statutes that are unattainable, we may have to bring forward for a revote, just to update any outdated ordinances. So, and then finally, as stated earlier, we have 2 vacancies in the township, and I encourage all residents who are qualified and interested to apply. We're accepting applications until 1 o'clock next Friday, and interviews will be held shortly thereafter.
Any questions for administrator or township manager? Anybody? Okay, thank you. Director Dillon?
Shorter. So May at the community center was very busy. We, as mentioned at the cow meeting, we completed the patio rehab with volunteers. And then we had our first patio taco pop-up event the following Friday. A little drizzle, but we still had a lot of fun. Our ELU class, which if you're not familiar what ELU is, it's classes that we take a deeper dive in. They're not one and dones like most of our classes. Laura led an ELU class through the entire month of May, every Wednesday. They transformed a old gross wooden pallet, into standing herb gardens. It was a lot more work than anybody anticipated. In fact, Jim and I both came in a couple nights to help, a couple Wednesdays, because it was a lot more muscle than anticipated, but the end product everybody was giddy about. So very, very happy. If you see on Facebook, we posted the end results with everybody with their pallets. In collaboration with Ela Library, we hosted our first genealogy class in May. And with Lake County Forest Preserve, we hosted our first bird walk at Cuba Marsh. And both were very, very well received. So we will be doing a lot more with the library again. And definitely, we have Lake County Forest Preserve coming every month. And in October, we'll actually be doing an owl walk with them. So,
You said owl walk? Where?
owl, is it?
Okay, I know that, how that sounds.
Yeah.
Where
Okay.
is that owl walk at?
That will be at Ryerson.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So in the midst of all the busyness, we were able to put to print our July, August, September newsletter, which, much to our surprise, actually hit doorsteps on Tuesday. So it's been busy.
Week.
Yes. On the youth end of things, Joe Cacciatore, youth coordinator, wrapped up a very successful school year of Homework Club, trained camp staff, and this past Monday started up Shooting Star Summer Camp. It's full with a wait list, and I'm happy to report with only one day, knock on wood, one day left of the first week, which is typically like the week where we work out kinks and find things that we forgot to prep for. It has been smooth.
And the kids been having a ball. I can hear them
And the
screaming in my
kids have
office.
been having a
I can hear them
ball.
singing, I hear them screaming, I see them working out, it's fun.
And poor Joe, that kid was literally sick last week because he's just so anxious, which always happens.
Yes.
And in waiting for like the movie theater to get back to them, because we go to the movie every week. And neither Century nor Regal had posted yet that they were going to do it this summer. So he was frantic, but that all happened and they went to the movies Tuesday. And then they saw Captain Underpants.
That was a good day, because I think that was the day it rained, right?
Yeah, it worked
Yeah.
out perfect.
Yeah.
Saw Captain Underpants, today they were at Play Monet, so it's going great, and their staff is doing phenomenally. It's so nice to have veteran staff come back, and the
sure.
kids recognize them, and it's awesome, so.
Great. Anybody else have questions?
Just a side note, I'd like to say we're sorry to hear about the loss of your family member.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much. Yeah. Senseless tragedy.
It really was.
Hopefully we get some gun control in this country.
Okay.
There's my PDA.
Okay, next. Director Marks.
Laura, I had a question.
Yes.
I had a question about Ted's report. Can I go back to it or no?
Sure.
So Ted, sorry, Sarah, if you could, because I want him to answer on the mic.
Sorry.
So Ted, on your report, township vacancies, when you said the Ela Township must be the same political party as the former trustee sites, just for our residents and everybody, so is that accurate, that they must be a Republican or
That was
no?
a great catch. So that, they do not have to be the same political party as Joe, which was the original understanding. because you guys ran,
Nonpartisan.
that's the word, nonpartisan, then there is no restrictions. So any resident of the township for the last year is eligible.
Okay, thanks for that.
Can you confirm,
clarification.
can you confirm that?
Sounds right to me. If you ran as a nonpartisan.
It's what. That, I was under the impression as well that they have to be of the same party, but it's what the lawyers told us, so.
I read that, if it's non-disclosed, if it's not a Republican or Democrat, they look at what he voted for in the primary to determine.
That's what I heard too. That's what I had heard.
Right.
So we need to check into that.
I'll
We need to
follow
check
up and get
into
back to
That's
you.
why I
And
called
then
you.
just so you remember, it's
Yeah.
still, it's not public comment.
I asked. She nodded.
But I agree. Okay, Lori, did you have a comment too? Because I thought I saw you raise your hand.
No, no.
Oh.
I was ta-
No, not you, Lori.
No, I was talking to Lori.
Oh, I'm
She
sorry.
raised her hand.
Okay. So we will get that straightened out and clarified.
Is that an answer that Carrie Lynn had given you?
Correct.
Okay.
Carrie Lynn had told me that it's not, because it's nonpartisan ticket,
In
the
the past.
party of the
it's-
candidate doesn't
But
matter.
it's always been,
It's always been in the past.
because when we did, when we,
We've done, I don't know of three.
when we replaced other trustees, we did the same thing. That's why I swear, unless things have changed since the last time.
I'll get you an answer tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, all I can, I mean, I'm just going with the lawyer, I mean, I'm not making it, so.
I know, I'm just saying.
She says she'll get an answer tomorrow.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I have receipts, that's all.
Okay, now Director Marks, please.
Okay. Poor Sarah.
I know.
Hi.
Hi.
We had a really good month as well. We had 22 referrals. We are seeing a decrease in youth. Youth don't want to come in the summer, shocking. But we have seen an increase in adults, and it could be because the youth are at home more. We have seen an increase in some crisis calls from the fire department and the local police departments, which is good. So we're teaming up with them and helping the residents. We're still going strong with our Wellness Wednesday, trying to get some new information out.
That's it.
Mr. Tarbick, can you turn that off, please? Thank you.
And our lending closet helped 40 people. We were able to get a couple wheelchairs and rollators, not rollators, wheelchairs and knee scooters from Elk Grove Township. They saw our newsletter and then reached out to us and said they had an abundance, so we went down there. Paul
Wow,
says hi,
how
by
nice
the way.
is that?
Very nice.
Supervisor Palmblad, he says hi.
Okay.
So that was really nice. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we were down there and, I took as much as I could. We are still looking for ramps and other things that roll. We could always use some more wheelchairs.
How about
We-
bath chairs?
What chairs?
Bath chairs?
We could do bath chairs, not as much the small ones we can always do, but
They're not
right
on
now
wheels.
we're okay.
She wanted wheels. They
And
wanted
it's things with
for
wheels,
bathtubs.
knee scooters especially.
You cannot have wheels on one in the bathtub.
That's what I'm telling you,
Yeah.
but that's what she's asking for.
So more of the things with wheels, so like the knee scooters, we only have a couple of those, and those go out really quickly, and they break really easily, so that's kind of our other problem that we're having. We are planning in July to do a big clean of the room. I think I have identified a day, so that's gonna be good, that'll pop up in July. Charity Knit is doing really well, they're still going strong, but they really do need some yarn and fabric for donations, so if anybody knows of anybody, let us know. There is a box outside of our office that we can take them, that can just be dropped off. We hosted an event with ACOY on the effects of dementia on youth and families, and that was presented by our very own Betsy, and she did an incredible job. And that's one of the things that licensed clinicians need for their 2-year renewals for their license, so we might start running that a little bit more regularly and seeing if anybody in the community would like to come to that. We're working with the Kildare Police Department for an active shooter training. We're gonna do one at Town Hall on July 7th at 8:30 in the morning, and then one for the community center on July 21st, also at 8:30 in the morning. We're still working on the highway department. We just can't get a time. Other than that, we're doing well.
Okay, any questions? Okay, Larry?
I had a meeting just the other day with the Village of Kildare and the village administrator and the police department. wanted me to mention what a great job you're doing in your department.
Thank you.
Okay, trustee Lori?
Just want to say thank you for arranging the active shooter training. That's really important today's day and age. So thank you for going the extra mile and doing that
Yeah.
for the whole department. Thank you.
I just wanted, I attended Betsy's dementia training, and it was fantastic.
It was
We're gonna
fantastic.
actually use it and have her come for our staff training, so.
Yeah, okay.
Anybody else? Okay. Thank you. Highway Superintendent Mike could not be here tonight, so an update on his is that PowerLink Electric has placed the generator on its concrete pad, and they are piped for gas. Electric wiring has been done, and the 200 amp transfer has been installed, which operates the main garage. They still need to get the 400 amp transfer switch installed, which will run the other two garages. But those are that's expected in July. The design for a Park Valley Drainage Improvement Project is progressing, and they will be going out to residents to confirm that it's okay that they work in their easement area. And then completed projects, they did 2 storm and water projects on Maryland Lane in Ela Township, and 1 stormwater project on Shady Lane in North Barrington. New sidewalks, as he said earlier, were installed around the pickleball and tennis courts, and the concrete was done at the Peace Pole, and it does look amazing. If you haven't seen it at night, it's pretty awesome. And then from our deputy assessor, Karen, Karen says that they are working on doing the necessary work needed to close the books by July 15th, and they are on track to finalize before that date. And that's all we have. We'll move on now to budget and appropriation ordinance 2023-01. Can we get a motion to approve that budget
Motion.
for the township budget for fiscal year ending March 31st, 2024?
Need a second.
Second.
Any questions before we vote on it? Anybody? Okay, Lucy, we call the roll, please.
Trustee Bowman?
Yes.
Trustee Wilhite?
Yes.
Trustee Fordyke?
Yes.
And Supervisor Pomplad?
Yes. Next is Resolution 2023-02, accumulation of funds. Can we get a motion to approve that Resolution 2023-02, authorizing the accumulation of funds of $1 million for future improvements in the general town fund?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions? Okay, Lucy, will you call the roll?
Trustee Bowman?
Yes.
Trustee Wilhite?
Yes.
Trustee Fordyke?
Yes.
And Supervisor Pomplad?
Yes. Next, can we have a motion to approve Resolution 2023-03, authorizing the accumulation of funds of $675,000 for future improvements in the general road fund?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions? Okay, Lucy, we call the roll.
Trustee Fordyke?
Yes.
Trustee Wilhite?
Yes.
Trustee Bowman?
Yes.
Supervisor Pomplad?
Yes. Can we get a motion to approve Resolution 2023-04? Is that where I left off? Yes.
Yes.
Authorizing the accumulation of funds of $350,000 for future improvements in the permanent road fund.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions? Lucy, will you call the roll, please?
Trustee Wilhite?
Yes.
Trustee Fordyke?
Yes.
Trustee Bowman?
Yes.
Supervisor Pomplad?
Yes. Next, can I have a motion to approve Resolution 2023-05, authorizing the accumulation of funds of $258,800 for future improvements in the park maintenance fund?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions? Lucy, will you call the roll,
Right.
please?
Trustee Bowman?
Yes.
Trustee Fordyke?
Yes.
Trustee Wilhite?
Yes.
And Supervisor Pomplad?
Yes. Next, can we have a motion to approve Resolution 2023-06, authorizing the accumulation of funds of $100,000 for future improvements in the cemetery fund?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions? Okay, hearing none. Lucy, will you call the roll, please?
Trustee Bowman?
Yes.
Trustee Fordyke?
Yes.
Trustee Wilhite?
Yes.
And Supervisor Pomplad?
Yes. Next, is an intergovernmental agreement with Wakanda Township. This is the same agreement that's been in place for the last 2 years with their current supervisor. So can we get a motion to approve the IGA between Wakanda and Ela Township regarding the bus program?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions? Okay, hearing none. Lucy, will you call the roll?
Trustee Bowman?
Yes.
Trustee Hupert DK?
Yes.
And trustee Wilhite?
Yes.
Supervisor Pomboy?
Yes. And next, can I have a motion to approve the purchase of a 2023 Vermeer VX75 Jetter vacuum excavator with a shared cost between Ela, Fremont, and Wakanda Townships?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions? Okay, Lucy, will you call the roll, please?
Trustee Bowman?
Yes.
Trustee Hupert DK?
Yes.
Trustee Wilhite?
Yes.
And Supervisor Pomboy?
Yes. Okay, so one more thing is a motion to go into executive session for the purposes of discussing personnel.
This is for employee compensation.
Yes,
It would be 5 ILCS 120-2C1.
okay, you got that?
No.
Okay.
What was it for?
For personnel, because we're going to executive session, we have to,
Wait,
yes,
5 ILCS
wait, 5 ILCS 120
120-2C1.
C1, got it, I'll give it to you. Okay, so can we have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
wait a minute, I'm still in shock.
No worries,
Okay.
you got the
Who's
motion?
second?
Me.
Okay. All right, trustee Bowman?
Yes.
Trustee Hupert DK?
Yes.
Trustee Wilhite?
Yes.
Supervisor Pomboy?
Yes.
And time?
Oh.
7:49.
7:49.
9.
We will adjourn for executive session. And we will be coming into open to close.
Correct.
Yeah.
Do you stay here? or do you-
We go into,
Mhm.
okay, can I get a motion to come out of executive session?
Motion to come out of executive session.
Take your time, find your spot. There you go.
Who's second?
We didn't have a second yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Lori?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Trustee Hupert
Yes.
DK? Trustee
Yes.
Wilhite?
Yes.
Trustee Bowman?
Yes.
And Supervisor Pomboy?
Yes.
Now, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Okay.
Trustee Bowman?
Yes.
Trustee Hupert DK?
Yes.
Trustee Wilhite?
Yes.
And Supervisor Pomboy?
Yes.